myself, I'm never by myself. I am my ancestors, don't get beside yourself now. Better pull libations now.
Peace family, it's Adara Moselle back for another one, and guess what? There's a sexual revolution upon us, and I'm super duper excited. I've seen it for a while, but now the world is starting to really pick up on it. And for years, decades, centuries, eons, sex has been used as a way to keep us down, to abuse, to separate you from your divinity, to confuse you, control you, every little thing, make you feel dirty, make you feel ashamed, every little thing. But that is quickly changing. Everybody's talking about Big Mama and her influence on everything, which she is everything, right? Let's keep it right. But they forget about this aspect of things. And the human nature, the human spirit desires healthy sexuality. What is healthy sexuality? Sexuality where you're not abusing and hurting people. Sexuality that you're not using to dominate or control or coerce something from somebody. Sexuality where you're not paying to play and all this other stuff, which is fine, you know what I'm saying? Compensate people for, things that you appreciate. I get it. I ain't mad at it. But at the same time, and women are going to hate this. But the devaluing of the masculine portion of the sexual experience, right? So oftentimes women equate yoni for sex or yoni for money. Like the value of yoni and money are equal, but yoni and lingam is not. Right? So that is coming from a devaluing of the person in general, right? So women are mad that men have been devaluing them all this time, and now they're devaluing the masculine. But it's coming to a point where we can't devalue each other enough, and all we can start doing is building each other up because we're hitting rock bottom, guys, and that's exciting. The dating pool is trash, so I hear. I have one, But it was trash when I was looking. But I hear that it's really bad now. And that's going into the quality of people that's coming up. So as we look more into our consciousness, more in trying to fix ourselves and work on ourselves, as we're trying to do more conscious parenting, there's going to have to be a conscious relating that comes with it. Okay? A conscious sexuality that comes with it. Because so many people are sexually traumatized, sensually traumatized, romantically traumatized from not having the love of their parents or their siblings or this or that. People are love starved. So when people are starved, they start eating more and more and more of it, right? So what I'm talking about here today is the fact and the excitement that I have of people actually stepping into the beauty of what relating can really be. The beauty of the sexual act and using it from a powerful perspective, fully understanding the body, fully embracing the body, and fully saying yes to the ability to have the experience of what this body is telling us. Because in our bodies is locked so much wisdom. Oftentimes it's something that we're trying to ignore or trying to hide or something. But when you get into certain acts, you can't hide it. When you start doing somatic practices and tapping into the body and listening, you can't hide what it has to say. Example, and this has nothing to do with sexuality, but it does, right? So I was doing a session on a lady the other day, and her arm was bothering her. And it was my first session with her, and I'm not really sure about how open she is to spiritual conversation and all this other stuff. So I try to keep it kind of cool, right? But I realized the thing that's bothering her arm has nothing, it has something to do with the physical thing because she fell, but there was a spiritual attachment there, right? And when I finally started massaging it and touching it, and I said to her that there's an attachment here because I was going to let them choose whether I was going to remove it or not. That's a whole other conversation. And as soon as I said that, her voice, everything changed. The answer just takes over and starts screaming like, yeah, let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out, free me, let me go, right? Like screaming its life away, like, you know what I mean? And it started showing up when I was projecting through the root, up the vagina, into the body, and then she was heaved forward, and there was a lump right here that was like sticking out. And I thought maybe that it was hurting her or something. So I put my hand there. She started crying and all this. And then I went to the shoulder and everything just started exposing itself. Imagine if we never knew to look into the pain of the arm as something other than the fact that you fell. You would have a ghost on your arm. You see what I'm saying? There's so much deepness tied to the body that you have no understanding of. So the fact that we are just throwing the body away for all of these years, not looking at it, talking about it's not holy, it's not divine, it's not anything, we see the problem that it has caused. And the unseen world can run wild when we do not tap into this thing that is the interface between the spiritual world and this physical world that we're in. Okay? And understanding sexuality and sexual and healthy relating is a key, is a door to understanding sexuality and healthy relating is a door to work with all of these things that could be hiding in the background, right? Because in the sexual world, that's where everybody's shame and guilt shows up. Okay? All of your dark, dirty fantasies, all of your insecurities, all of your selfishness, all of your dynamics are at play here. And the way you show up sexually is the way you show up in life, right? What do I mean? Brothers who might experience erectile dysfunction at a younger age where it's not typical. You probably, or it's very likely that you exhibit a lack of discipline and lack of patience in other areas of your life. I'm willing to put money on it. You see what I'm saying? I'm willing to put money on the fact that you are impatient in other areas of life, right? Or you have a lack of confidence somewhere, right? Or you don't have discipline in some areas. You can't tell yourself no. All these different things will show up sexually as erectile dysfunction, ED, early admission, all of this different type of stuff. All of this. For women, the fact that you don't value the masculine or the fact that somebody has to earn your love all the time is going to show up in rigidity, vaginal dryness, a lack of sensitivity, a lack of appreciation for the experience in general, you leaving your body, all of that. You know what I mean? But it's not just with the person you're having sex with. You're probably that way with your friends too, right? Anytime your friends don't show you the love that you think that you're supposed to deserve in the way that you want to have it, you're probably ready to cut people off and do this and do all this other stuff. Just look at yourself. I guarantee it. I'm willing to put money on it, right? Because it's all tied together. And in this sexual revolution, we are going to start seeing that a lot more awareness is going to come from the act. And brothers have been screaming for intimacy, and women like, no, they don't. They just want sex. That's the problem. They're telling you what you want, but then you're telling them that they want something different, right? So you can't even hold space or be receptive to the fact that they're trying to meet you somewhere. So you totally miss. So you can't relate. And now there's a man versus woman argument, right? You're telling the man about his nature as he's living the nature. And these cause problems. So in this new revolution, women are starting to listen to men. Men are starting to listen to women. And we're understanding that we're not going to understand everything. And that's okay. But let me let you have your experience. And I respect that you're having your experience. And I respect what you represent as a feminine expression in this world. And I respect what you bring, man, as a masculine expression of the Most High in this world. Be it good or be it bad. Because God is everything in its opposites. So there's good people and there's bad people. There's da-da-da-da. And there's dynamics within that. Right? But when I look at you, I'm not just looking at you. I'm looking at the representation of what you are, good and bad, and learning the lessons that Spirit's trying to teach me through that. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Right? And it becomes a much deeper thing. So, the conversation of people having spirits is becoming much more common, so I think it's the 8th Ecumenical Council. And this is like when the church leaders got together way back when in the day and decided to change things and choose what books are going to be in the Bible or whatever else. So people know about the Council of Nicaea and all this other stuff, but there are ecumenical councils that happened as well. So I believe it was the 8th Ecumenical Council where they decided to take spirit out of the ideology, and now it was just man and soul. Body and soul, right? So the idea of us having a spirit was totally taken out. But now with the resurrection of, which led to a lot of the spookism that we have now. So we start talking about our spirit, we talk about ancestors, we talk about all this stuff. People get spooked because they haven't talked about spirits outside of demons and all this negative stuff that happens, right? And now with the resurgence of shamanism, of people tapping into their intuition, all that stuff, which some people say is fake, whatever. I know it to be different. The people are having the conversations. People can't deny that they're seeing things. The veil is so much thinner. The veil is so much thinner, right? And people are having all kinds of experiences. Men, women, and children are having all of these experiences. So the world has to shape and change to match where the consciousness expansion is happening. And this is the gate. I ain't gonna lie, this is the gate. When people start changing their approach and their psychology and their relationship to sex, the world shall change. You see what I'm saying? The world shall change. People are like, oh, this is a very whoop-de-woo kind of idea. This is a very, lofty, happy-go-lucky type of idea, but not even really. I challenge you to name one trauma or injustice that was not caused by the lack of love, the abuse of love, or the misappropriation of love. I challenge it. You can talk about war. Where do you think that comes from? You know what I'm saying? Where do you think that comes from? Some people are saying that it comes from the fact that they love God so much, so you don't love God, so you have to die. You don't love the way I say you should love, or you don't do this the way I say you should do this, or I have zero love, so I'm going to abuse the innocence that I see in others. All of this different type of stuff. That's where molestation comes from. Molestation and sexual assault comes from the abuse of innocence. It is a spirit that likes to prey on innocence, and it loves the destruction of innocence. Period. I've seen it. I've seen his fucking face. I've seen his effing face, bro, because I work in that space. Most people just want to deal with healing of like physical ailments and stuff like that. But no, there are real things that we need to be looking at and dealing with. You see what I'm saying? That's running rampant. All right, it's running rampant. And this is a long conversation, but it's just something I kind of want to put on the books. And I might not even use this as my weekly wisdom. I'm just going to chop it up a little bit. But I've seen the shit's face. Excuse my language. It's real. I've seen it hovering in the air where I can almost just grab it down. But Spirit was like, you have to leave it alone because it's up to this person to deal with it. You see what I'm saying? That's been harassing people since children. Since harassing their parents since children. You know what I mean? Causing people to do certain things, influencing people to do certain things. And it's attaching to people and it's harnessing people because of the negative vibrations and the negative environments that are caused by the misuse of sexual energy. We can create whatever we want to create. We continue to create trauma, or we create the world that we want for each other. So I'm excited that people are finally starting to step on the other side because we done hit rock bottom. We hardly can't go no deeper. You see what I'm saying? We almost can't get no family. For real. For real, for real, for real. For all the jokes aside, y'all know I'm a laughy, happy-go-lucky person, but all jokes aside, this is probably one of the best revolutions that can happen to us. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Just think about it, guys. Just think about it. Just think about it. And subscribe to my channel. Adara Moselle. Just Juju me. Subscribe to my channel. And not Juju. So subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna have way more videos like this coming, explaining more of this revolution, explaining what's happening out here in the sexual world. And not even just in the sexual world, but the spiritual world, the physical world, the mental world, the emotional world. And we're gonna look into some things. And I don't have all the answers, I guarantee you, but I'm here to have the conversation. And I'm willing to have the conversation with you, right? So follow me on Instagram, check me out. Let's have these real conversations because that's the only way we're going to be able to bridge this gap and I'm not going to say fix the hurt, but at least apply a salve so it can start healing itself. And in that, the generations are going to raise up. right? So we're not doing this just for ourselves. We're doing this for the next generation. Just like the earth that we're trying to take care of more. We're passing that down to the next generation. All right. We are enhancing the DNA. Let's weave another strand back into this DNA. All right. And it's always a pleasure talking to you. I hope you all enjoyed this message. I enjoyed giving it. It's a little all over the place, but I'm trying to let my heart out because this is what I'm feeling this morning.